Long ago, in one of his past lives, the Buddha was born. As a kind and noble prince named Mahasattva, he was the youngest of three brothers and was known for his deep compassion and wisdom, even from an early age. His heart was filled with kindness, and he sought to help all living beings, always putting others before himself. One day, the three princes went on a journey into the deep forest to explore. The lush greenery, chirping birds, and flowing streams made the forest feel alive with energy. As they wandered, they climbed a small hill and came upon a heartbreaking sight. A tigress and her starving cubs lay on the ground, too weak to move. The mother tigress had been without food for days. Her ribs showed through her thin fur, and her cubs whimpered, desperately trying to suckle milk from her, but she had nothing left to give. The sight filled Mahasattva's heart with deep sorrow. He turned to his elder brothers and said, "Look at this poor mother. She is starving, and her cubs will not survive without her. If she does not eat soon, she may turn to eating her own young." His brothers, though kind, hesitated. "But what can we do? There is no food here for her," one said. "Perhaps we can find a deer or some other animal to hunt and feed her," the other suggested. Prince Mahasattva shook his head. "By the time we return, it may be too late." The brothers were unsure what to do, so they decided to continue their journey and think of a solution. But Mahasattva stayed behind, unable to walk away from the suffering. Before him, his heart swelled with selfless love. "This body of mine is temporary," he thought, "but if it can save lives, then it will serve a noble purpose." Without hesitation, he approached the tigress, knelt before her, and spoke softly, "Mother, take my life so that you and your cubs may live." With those words, he offered himself to the starving tigress. At first, she was too weak even to lift her head, but as the prince made his sacrifice, she found the strength to eat. Life returned to her body, and soon her cubs, too, were saved. When the elder brothers realized their youngest sibling was missing, they hurried back and were devastated to find what had happened. They mourned his loss, but understood that Mahasattva had fulfilled his path as a bodhisattva, one who gives everything for the sake of others. The gods and celestial beings wept at his noble act, and flowers rained down from the heavens in honor of his boundless compassion. In this way, Prince Mahasattva showed the ultimate act of kindness and selflessness, a true step on the path to becoming the Buddha. His sacrifice became an eternal lesson, that true love is not about possessing, but about giving, and that the greatest joy comes from the well-being of others. And so in many lifetimes to come, he continued his journey toward enlightenment, until he was finally born as Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha.